If I told you that this restoration video was fake, would you believe me? If I told you that I was breastfed until age 11, would you believe me? It makes no difference either way. I know the truth, and I'll try my best to explain the rest. Many of these types of videos are in fact fake, and they are some of my favorite videos, genre of videos on YouTube. I love watching these things. I've been watching them for years, but let me be clear. Not all of them are fake, okay? But also some are fake as well. Just to, you know, there's a lot of them. There's a lot that are fake, in all honesty, but not all of them. Now, why would they ever do that? You might think to yourself, my precocious little viewer. Thank you, by the way. There's plenty of old, shitty objects right to be restored. Why not just do it authentically? And it's such a satisfying thing, too. I love those videos. They take my mind off of my unfulfilled and sad existence. Like the soup dumpling. Well, random viewer, think about it. It makes sense that it'd be fake, okay? Why would a creator hope and pray that they would be presented with the rare opportunity to restore an ancient Etruscan boar vessel dated 600 to 500 BC when they could just rub diarrhea on a modern Etruscan boar vessel dated 2022 Etsy shop and just print money and views? Think about it for a second. It makes sense that they'd fake it. Look at all this stuff. These thumbnails are terrible, dude. It's like it seems fake. There's a lot of evidence now, but I just hope that I'm not hurting someone's feelings. And if I am, I'm just kidding. I feel bad. To be transparent, my current outlook on the internet and content as a whole is if it's fakeable, it's fake. All right? And that's a sad way to look at things. But it is the sad reality that is consistently proven as such. Reality check, liberals. We all know the truth about primitive building content.
Almost every single primitive building channel is underpinned by countless different lies, and we've got tons of evidence to prove it.
Now there's this. It's the same thing, really. It's just on a smaller, less cringe scale.
This video with over 63 million views begins as most do. A shirtless guy draws a big circle and begins to dig it out. Only in the next frame, suddenly there's spray paint on the ground that they forgot to rub out. Additionally, on the wall of the hole, these long, smooth cuts can be seen which are completely incomparable to the cuts being made by the stick. Well, there's a reason for this. Turns out spray paint marks weren't the only thing that they forgot to rub out, as in the minutes that follow, excavator tracks can be seen here, 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 and here.
It seems evil to fake this kind of stuff. The videos come off as informative and helpful in some way. I really don't know. It seems like I'm learning when I watch these things, when they put ramen into an old hole and then somehow it makes it new. Restoration is like a true art form. So just don't mess with it. Don't fake it, okay? You son of a bitch! It's something beautiful that deserves respect. I'm sure you might agree. It's not really like the guys making dookie slides in the mung bean forest or whatever. By the way, I know I'm gatekeeping which fakes are better. Just listen to me. It's fine. And by the way, these are the images that run in my head whenever I think of the primitive building stuff. Also, to be clear yet again, not all of these are fakers, and not everything we've shown up until this point is fully a fake. We'll dive more into that in a bit. It's another conspiracy. It's another cover-up. There's fake, and then there's, wow, that is so fake. I cannot believe an audience exists that is willing to consume this content. Fake. Wait, it has how many views? Oh, all right. That makes sense then. I like it now. I think I'll just go ahead and sewer slide like my friends in the mung bean forest. I don't even know how to react to this. And that's like literally my job is to just react to stuff and talk. I mean, this is a cool thumbnail, I guess. So it's kind of, this is a really fake one though, by the way. Everything about this video screams staged. Follow a homeless boy around, filming him search through trash before he finds a phone and then take it to get restored. The channel is also called Restore Your Phone. So it starts off with just an absolutely destroyed phone, and he goes through the process of fixing it, sprays it with some stuff. I don't even understand if it's possible to even do this. I'm not an electronics expert, but a lot of this looks sus. And the whole idea of it just screams staged, like I said. I'm just glad there was a camera there to film all of it, guys. That's all I care about. I am, after all, a content creator, and that's what I love. Content creating. Another example of the insanely fake would be this restoration of an M16 that's found in a junkyard. Huh? You just found an M16 in a junkyard? No, you didn't, you lying bastard. The start of it is incredible. I mean, just walking around. Where are they at? I'm gonna go dig around in that trash. That's valuable trash. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I mean, look at that thing. That's perfect. Yet again, just screams absolute fakery. Not to mention that, but this is not even an N16. This is not how they're made. This is not how this works. They don't just split in half down the middle like a toy. Just in case you weren't skeptical yet, though. The ancient method of repairing and restoring modern tools. Ramen noodle are the most powerful and best of all building supply for whenever you got a hole in something. Doesn't matter what it is. Ramen noodle. Put ramen noodle in it and it'll fucking fix it up for you, you idiot. Guys, I don't think that was a real M16. I think that one might have been fake. Now that I have gotten the chance to show you guys some true, absolute fakes, I want to show you something authentic, and then we'll go back and show you some of the ones that are causing a stir in the resto scene, and just on YouTube in general. Because the first few, if you don't know those are fake, well, that's not your only problem in life. Here's how badass a real restoration looks. You can kind of tell, probably by looking at this one, that it's more real because it doesn't appear as though it's been turd blasted with a butt gun to cover the entire thing in rust, which doesn't happen in nature. There is rust, but it looks like what would happen if you left something outside for a long time and it needed to be fixed. Now, this is incredibly impressive. Man is restoring a beautiful bike. I want it really badly, I'm gonna be honest with you. And it gets, of course, 500,000. 500,000 compared to 51 million and 60 and 500. Now, that is good, to be clear. 500,000 views is a great amount of views. But it still kind of sucks when you compare it. And the end result of this one is absolutely insane. Beautiful. Good job, Mr. Rescue. And then along the same lines of something else authentic, but on a different side of the same coin, a weapon restoration, because that's like the big clickbait. Here's a cool Russian fellow. This is a real, authentic weapon restoration. I'll show you some fake ones here in a minute. I think this one is really important to include as well because it has so much damage on it, even after it's done, because rust literally is damage. When something rusts, it oxidizes, it disappears. Backyard Ballistics, a restoration channel who's an expert in this kind of stuff, made a video recently and said,
first of all, corrosion that happened over many years looks different. Look for these lamps. They are very hard crystals of corrosion products and they take very long to form. So if you see these, the decay was probably genuine.
There will still be damage on something that has been out in the weather for an extremely long period of time and has rusted. It will not be pristine metal. As you can see, this one is clearly a real restoration. The rust and time in the weather has destroyed this weapon, and the final product, you can clearly see it. But thankfully, this video, on the other hand of the first one, got a lot of recognition, and a lot of people saw it, and it did really well, even though he's Russian. Now we get into the juicier side. The mild fakes. The ones that may or may not be fake to an extent, or they could be real. Are they actually restoring them? Yeah, kinda. But are they exaggerating it greatly for the thumbnail? Yeah, kinda. My favorite one, and the one that I saw that sparked me to be interested in this even a little bit, because like I said, I love restoration videos. I've been watching them for years. The ramen thing has been a meme in my head for a very long period of time. And I also love guns. I love guns, old guns especially. And look at this. This is a cool thumbnail. I think that's paint. I don't see where you would get like blue stuff, where I don't know why blue stuff would come up on a gun or stainless steel. I don't know why it would turn blue, or it would have paint on it and cheese and stuff and milk and like, looks like a cake, like a German cake kind of. The funniest part about this one too is that it's not even a real gun. It's a blank gun that shoots caps. So it's like a toy kind of that they faked and covered with paint, but I don't know. And this just looks so fake, dude. It's dumb as f. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. His convoluted system of restoring this weapon in the video is impressive. He's got little electrodes and some juice, some hot sauce.
What's he building in there?
Many different things to get all the poop and dookie off. The comments are also the best part. People are really angry at this guy. You can see it just looks great after he gets all the glue and coffee grinds off it. I mean, he did technically restore it, but he also damaged it initially, so it gets deeper. There's more that are like this. These make me very sad because I love the knife restoration and the sword restoration videos. It looks like something straight out of the Elder Scrolls. Whenever they're all old and green and stuff, it looks like, oh, some kind of elven, oh, just looks, I want to eat it for some reason. I got something wrong with me, for sure. I want to eat lava too, but, you know. This video in particular was called out before by another YouTuber. As you can tell by this thumbnail, I Post Swords annihilated this fellow and kind of described why it's fake and dumb and it's a destructive method and it's fake antique and it's a lie!
I'm here to contend that it is neither a restoration nor an antique. I have an exact copy of the same dagger, which I purchased for around 100 USD. Not only is this a modern reproduction dagger, identical to his, it's also not even Egyptian. What he calls a restoration is in fact a destructive method, and if you use it on an actual antique, you would be destroying it.
And then this channel changed the title but left the thumbnail, which is pretty hilarious. Chad-ass YouTube move there, buddy. That's the after product. That's the after product. Did you see the thumbnail? And this is what he's going to do to us. And we keep saying he's faking these. He's going to stab us. This video, the expose, was basically, it's not a restoration, all right? It's a modification, okay? That's why the fellow changed the title, because he said it was a restoration, and it's not really. He just kind of changed it. And even then, was it even real in the first place? Who the f knows? We will never know. But for now, it's an impressive modification. So it's a mild fake, right? It's kind of a lie. It's kind of there, but watch out. We'll get stabbed like that bottle of Sprite. So this one is one that's a very area of gray, all right? Because everything about this seems legit except for it's a little bit suspicious how rusty it is. And the burn marks. Thanks to Backyard Ballistics, we learned to check wood parts for burn marks. And this one does have it on the grip. So, who knows? Yeah, the burns, I mean, yeah, it's very clearly burned a lot. Like I said, this one's an area of gray because you can still see the pithing on the steel, on the metal, but also it's more of a modification. It's not like a restoration because you got rid of the original handguard and the grip, and everything is just different about the gun just in general, and it has all new interior parts. Everything's completely new, new housing, new bolt, everything's all new. And he just kind of looks like he cleaned it. And honestly, Izmash is known for some pithing on their steel anyways, especially from the 1970s. So, I don't know. Could be real, could be fake. It's definitely real. It's also definitely has some elements of hocus pocus. Now, the Uzi restoration here looks real. The process is pretty good, but it also, some people say, it looks like spray paint. A lot of it looks like spray paint. You can kind of see that the rust looks as if it was sprayed on. You can see an area where there's a clip mark on the gun itself from where the rust wasn't sprayed on. So, I don't really know about this one fully. People say it's fake, maybe, but it looks cool at the end. He did a hell of a job. He definitely knows his guns. Another example of a mild faker, right, would be this channel called Restoration Channel. A lot of these restorations have fairly obvious fake elements, but they are things that are genuinely broken and need to be fixed, and they are fixed. The comments seem to play both sides in a lot of these instances, and I'm not imparting judgment by any means, because even the mild fakers, it's not that harmful, right? You're not really misleading people to the extent of like coffee grounds and poop goop fellows. This channel and many more have comment sections that are fairly split down the middle, people who are deniers and people who belong to the Church of Scientology, because they're very gullible. This one's just obviously painted brown because it just, I mean, you can tell. You can just kind of literally tell. It just looks brown. Tires don't turn brown. They don't rust unless you paint them brown. The seat won't turn brown. Like, what'd you dip it in? Brown? Looks like it. The rust clumps up like paint does when it's about to peel. This bike looks like my toilet after I eat too much fiber. They just don't make any sense. Like, why are they, what are they gaining by this? This is ridiculous. It looks insane. This motorbike looks dumb as hell. But alas, the videos all begin like usual. They find a rusted old piece of treasure hidden right in the open in a pond or in the mud or behind a thin layer of leaves and trees. They just sniff around a little bit and stumble upon a great treasure they can get 100 million view video off of restoring by scraping the rust off of polymer. At least they're doing God's work, fixing these old things up. Beautiful stuff. But we got to give them props, though, at the same time. Even though it's, you know, faked to an extent, the intro to this stuff's fake. It's just fake paint. Like, plastic doesn't rust simply. They still replace parts, clean stuff. They still fix it up. Like, they're still doing it. It's disingenuous, but it's awesome at the same time because these dudes have huge balls. And they're doing what we're afraid to do. And they do rub their paint on anything they can get their rusty little hands on, I tell you that much. They just lie to get more attention. That's the big problem. They're fixing the bikes, but they're also lying to all of us and everyone. And the comments believe it sometimes, which is sad. Let's be real. You don't stumble upon a fully loaded RPG or an M16 or a sports bike. You found it, painted it, hit it, and then found it again, and then fixed it up and pulled the paint off it. You created the disease and sold the cure. Also, not to kick this channel while they're down. Obviously, they need some help, but look at their background. It says your name right there. They didn't even update it. Whatever. That's funny, though. I like that. Unlike the mild fakers where you can see that they're doing something cool and they're actually fixing it, in spite of them maybe spraying a little bit of doo-doo paint on it. The obvious fakers just fake every single part. They wash motherboards with soap and a toothbrush, and then they just swap out those parts, obviously, and then put them together to make it look like it's been restored to its former glory. So why does this even matter? In all honesty, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people that watch this stuff are also people who watch ASMR and mukbangs, and they're just living vicariously through these random fellows on the internet, which that's totally fair. But then there's people like me who want to learn and do stuff and actually restore old things that they've acquired. And there's not a lot of good information out there, realistic. And you'll learn nothing from these channels. And it's unfortunate that the nature of YouTube is that the fake generally cannibalizes the audience of the genuine. And it's cringe and it's bad, and we just need to do something about it. Okay, we need to rise together. We need to fucking just get out there. We need to start holding our pickets up, and we need to just get it done. We need to really. Are they making the world the worst place? No, of course not. Are they stealing candy from a baby? No, of course not. Although that would be cooler if they were. Are they shitsing and spraying on objects and calling them rusted and then lying to us all? Yeah, they're doing that. But they're not doing real harm, you know. But they are faking shit. That's the whole point of this video.